So I'm this guy standing on a planet. Our planet's pretty big compared to me. Really, I'm just a speck standing on this big planet. But the planet, compared with the star, is just another speck. And the Earth is orbiting the sun, and the sun is a huge star. And our star may be a big deal to us, but my friends, our star is just another speck. So I'm a guy, I'm a speck, living on a speck out on the edge of the galaxy. I mean, it's not really in downtown Milky Way, it's way out on the side. We're just a speck on a speck, orbiting a speck. But I'll tell you what else. There's billions and billions of stars, billions and billions of specks, and then billions of galaxies. I mean, I'm a speck, living on a speck, orbiting a speck in the middle of specklessness. But then I think, I'm this little brain. I have this brain. It's only this big to think about all of this, to think about the vast emptiness of space. I can reason that I'm a speck on a speck in the middle of specklessness, and that's cool. That's worthy of respect. And you can't help but wonder, with those billions and billions of specks, are there other specks out there? That would change everything, because then you know that these little brains are not alone. And that, my friends, is worth thinking about.
The eyes of night. The eyes of night.
Since we could first form the question, we must have wondered, are we alone? Is there life out there among the stars? You see, astronomy is a humbling undertaking. Our ancestors probably thought, no, the world is flat. And they accepted that all the members of their immediate tribe comprised the whole of the human family, that the Earth was the center of everything. But now we may be able to presume that even our existence is not unique, that there are living things everywhere among the stars. And we call this study astrobiology. You see, we may be on the verge of the most important insight of all, as we search for and possibly discover other life on other worlds. What are we actually looking for? We're actually looking for a radio signal from somewhere in outer space.
Right. Presumably, if there are intelligent beings out there, they're flooding the galaxy with radio waves. They're falling right here. Some of them will fall onto the metal mirrors out there, and we'll pick them up.
Now, what is the strength of that signal? Is it as strong as an FM radio station?
You know, a feather dropping on the ground here would have, billions, trillions of times more energy than the signals falling on those things. But we can find them. We can find them.
What makes you think they're out there?
Well, it comes down to this. There's a lot of cosmic real estate. There are 400 or 500 billion stars in our galaxy. There are 100 billion other galaxies, each with a few hundred billion stars. You add that all up, that's a lot of real estate. So just on the basis of the numbers, you figure that, unless this is some sort of miracle here, there's going to be other life out there, and some of that life is going to be intelligent. So that's kind of the bottom line.
Is the Earth just this unusual, if I may, rare Earth, or is it pretty common?
Well, we don't know the answer to that. And there are some people who would argue that, the Earth is kind of special. But I don't think so. We don't know of other planets like the Earth, but I think the reason we don't know is we don't have the telescopes to find them yet.
Now, you might wonder, why don't we just build a rocket to take us to the stars? Well, we can't, because they're too far away. If there were a highway and you were driving to get to an average nearby star, say 30 light years away, it would take you 330 million years. Well, if you had a rocket, oh yeah, you could cut it way down to 1.2 million years. No, we can't get there that way. We can't do it. They're too far away. Instead, we have to come up with other schemes. So for that, my friends, read on. If we discovered a signal from another world, what do you think would happen?
We're not going to hear extraterrestrial Neanderthals with this sort of thing. We've got to hope that there are at least a fair number, thousands in our galaxy, say, of civilizations that are, if you will, at least at our level, and maybe beyond our level, and that they've been broadcasting to space for a long period of time.
So we get this signal. Are we going to be able to understand it?
Yeah, I doubt that we'll be able to understand it. You give the output of your computer modem to cavemen, they're not going to figure it out either. So maybe we won't understand it, but at least we'll know they're on the air. We'll know they're there. But this is the first time in all of human history that we could build something like this and actually have a good shot at finding it. That's what makes this exciting.
And it's a chance worth taking.
Of course it's worth taking. Of course it is. I mean, can you think of anything more interesting than finding out that we're not the only game in town?
This rocket is headed to Mars, and on top of it is a rover that's just loaded with instruments that will help us look at Martian rocks very carefully from way back here on Earth. We'll examine those rocks for signs of water and maybe even evidence of Martian life. Or maybe they'll lead us to another place to look at other rocks, to look for other signs of water and life.
People, I have got some exciting news. Life has been discovered on Titan.
What? Of course there's life on Taiwan. It's one of our best markets.
Not Taiwan, Titan. It's one of the moons of Saturn. This is a whole new market. It's virgin territory. We can have the first product penetration on a brand new planet or moon or whatever. But the important thing is we can grab 100% of the market.
What are the demographics?
Well, it's a little sketchy right now, but it looks like they're segmented worm-like creatures that swim in seas of methane miles below the ice that covers the surface.
How long does it take to get there?
About 7 or 8 years. But the marketing is going to get there way ahead of time. And that's why I want to have a series of 30-second spots ready for the next Super Bowl. I want some ads that position Fizzy Cola as the brand of choice for the worm people on Titan. Let's target the younger worms. I would like to see preliminary sketches by the end of the week. We are going to Titan.
But we consider the limits of life continue to expand. Until just a few years ago, we thought that all living things had to be on or near the Earth's surface, where there's plenty of water and sunlight. But recently, we've discovered all kinds of living things, living in environments we once thought were too harsh, too hot, too cold, even too radioactive for life. And we call these organisms extremophiles because, by our standards, they love extreme environments. We find microbes living in acid, living in boiling water, under thick layers of ice, at the very bottom of the ocean where it's dark and cold at extreme pressures. Astronauts retrieve spacecraft parts, which have been sitting on the moon in the vacuum of space for years. And when they got the parts back to the Earth, there were microbes on them that had made the trip, and they were still alive. So maybe there are billions of planets out there with living things we've never even imagined. And from their point of view, we're the weirdos. We're the extremophiles. Did you ever think of that? Here we are breathing this highly chemically active, corrosive, toxic oxygen atmosphere, and we're stumbling around on only the very driest parts of this otherwise lovely, sea-soaked little metal planet. See, it could be a wild world or world of worlds out there.